First of all, take a flick. Take a flick. Come on, take a flick.
Yeah, I got Bel Air and After as a whole.
No mistake. Continues.
The search for a 24-year-old who vanished after leaving a Houston club continues as Fox 26's Gabby Hart speaks with that woman's father one-on-one today. Joining us live from outside the CoverGirls adult nightclub. And Gabby, we understand this was the last place that she was seen.
It is. Felicia Johnson traveled from San Diego to Houston hoping to work here at CoverGirls. We're told that after leaving an audition, she got a ride from a customer that she didn't know. It was the last time anyone saw or heard from this young woman.
You guys, he's so scared.
A brother wondering when his big sister will return home, and a father holding out hope that she's still alive.
Man, I'm just trying to keep myself together. I'm hoping that she's alive.
24-year-old Felicia Johnson was last seen on Friday, April 15th. She was leaving CoverGirl Strip Club on West Little York Road. Her father, Kevin Johnson, says his daughter traveled to Houston to visit family, and she tried to get a job as a dancer at CoverGirls.
These people are young adults, and they just living their life, and nobody's perfect. And sometimes people make mistakes.
After being turned down for the position, she was waiting on an Uber when a customer offered her a ride back to her hotel.
One of their regulars, one of their VIPs.
When no one heard from Felicia Friday night, they became worried. On Saturday morning, they tracked her phone to Bear Creek Park, 4 miles from the strip club where she was last seen. It was found on the side of the road, covered in blood.
I'm running off of pure faith and just not giving up on her, that we're gonna get her back.
Texas EcuSearch scoured the park searching for Felicia with no luck. Her father flew in from San Diego to assist, but he says he believes she's still out there, alive and in danger.
I think she got caught up in one of those sex trafficking, human trafficking situations where they are snatching up these out-of-town girls and putting them to work. That's what I think happened to her. And I don't have any proof, but I feel in my heart that strip club has something to do with it.
We reached out to CoverGirl Strip Club for a comment. I was told the owners never come into the establishment and there was no way for us to speak with them. They also said the manager doesn't take phone calls. Felicia's father has hired a private investigator, and he says he's not stopping until he brings his daughter home.
I'm gonna be here as long as I can, and just in hopes that something positive comes out of this.
Now, we did learn that the FBI is investigating and looking into her disappearance. Police also searching through surveillance footage, but as of right now, there's no information as far as a suspect. Of course, as soon as we learn more, we'll let you know. For now, I'm reporting live. Gabby Hart, Fox 26 News.
Did you ever wonder what happens when a dream turns into a nightmare? What happens when hope becomes a hunting ground, a place where someone goes to seek new opportunities and instead finds their end? This is the story of 24-year-old Felicia Johnson. Imagine arriving in a bustling city, full of hope, only to disappear into its shadows. No one saw it coming, no one could have predicted it. Felicia Johnson, a young woman who left her home in San Diego, seeking a fresh start in Houston. She wanted a new life, a chance to shine, but her last known steps led her into a darkness few can comprehend, a darkness that would shock you to the core. She came to Houston to work and build a future. She posted online, seeking opportunities, looking for a way to make it, but who was watching, who was waiting, what was truly waiting for her in Houston? She was last seen leaving the Intercontinental Houston Medical Center. A young woman, leaving a hotel into the early hours of the morning. What happened next? Was it an encounter or a setup? Her phone, covered in blood, found in Bear Creek Pioneers Park. Can you imagine the fear, the confusion, the sheer terror? Who would do this and why? This isn't just a story, this is a puzzle that includes a man, Chukwuebuka Nwobodo, a man whose internet searches and purchases paint a horrifying picture, a picture of a killer. What do you think happened? What are your theories? Leave a comment below and stay with me because the next part of this story will leave you speechless. Welcome to Whistles of True Crime, where we unveil the darkest mysteries and the most chilling true crime tales. If you crave real-life crime stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat, you're in the right place. Kindly subscribe to this channel now and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss any of our new stories. Your support keeps these stories alive. This story takes us to Houston, Texas, a city of contrasts, a sprawling metropolis, is a city of immense energy and diverse offerings, known for its world-class medical facilities, particularly the Texas Medical Center. It's a hub of innovation and healthcare. The city's thriving arts scene boasts renowned institutions like the Museum of Fine Arts, Houston, and a vibrant theater district. Houston's culinary landscape is equally diverse, reflecting its multicultural population, with a wide array of dining options from Tex-Mex to international cuisine. The city is also a major economic powerhouse, driven by the energy industry and a growing tech sector. However, Houston, like many large urban centers, faces significant challenges. Crime rates, including violent crime, are a concern. Data indicates that Houston experiences a higher rate of violent crime compared to the national average. Gun violence is a particularly pressing issue, with numerous incidents reported annually. This stark contrast between Houston's vibrant cultural and economic life, and its struggles with crime, forms a complex backdrop to the tragic story of Felicia Johnson. Felicia Johnson came to Houston with a purpose to work, and entertainment was her focus. She had dreams and ambitions, but Houston, a city of opportunity, can also be a city of danger. She applied for a job at the Cover Girls nightclub, a simple job application, a chance to earn a living. But was it just a job? Was it a lead? Or was it something else entirely? Felicia's online presence, that's where things get complicated. She posted advertisements, seeking connections, seeking clients. Was she looking for work or something more? Was she putting herself out there, or was she being targeted? Her online activity, those ads weren't hidden, they were there for anyone to see, anyone including Chukwuebuka Nwobodo. Think about it, a young woman advertising online and a man watching, a man who would later search how to be a serial killer. A man who purchased a saw, trash bags, and cleaning supplies. What was the connection? Was it just a coincidence, or was it something planned, something calculated? And here's the question, did Felicia know what she was walking into? Did she have any idea what was waiting for her? Because what happened next wasn't just a bad encounter, it was something far, far worse. And you need to see this to believe it. What do you think? Did her online activity make her a target? Comment below. Felicia Johnson's last known location, the Intercontinental Houston Medical Center. It was here, in the early hours of April 16, 2022, that her story took a sharp, terrifying turn. She was active online, communicating, making arrangements, but with whom, and for what? Those final messages, those last interactions hold the key. Was it a planned meeting, a desperate plea, or a deadly deception? The timeline is crucial. At 2:56 a.m. Felicia left the hotel. This is fact. She got into an Uber arranged by Chukwuebuka Nwobodo. Think about that. He ordered her ride. He orchestrated her departure. Where was she going? Who was she meeting? Was this just a simple pickup, or was it the beginning of something much more worse? That Uber dropped her off at 3233 Windchase Boulevard. Not Nwobodo's current address, but his old address. Why there? Why not his apartment? What was the purpose of this initial drop-off? Was it to disorient her, to confuse her, or was it to make her vulnerable? He then picked her up from there, taking her to his apartment on South Richmond. Imagine that ride, the silence, the anticipation, the unknown. Did she suspect anything? Did she have any idea what awaited her? And here's the twist, the final moments of her freedom, the last ride she took, was all part of a plan that would end in blood, a plan that would leave her family searching for answers. What do you think? Why the initial drop-off at the previous address? Was it to create confusion, or was it to create a different story? Let us know what you think in the comment below. He brings her fully into his control. Was this the best moment she realized she was trapped, or was this the moment she understood the danger? This wasn't just a ride, it was a transfer of power, a transfer of control. He was directing the play, he was setting the stage, and now she's in his car, now she's going to his apartment, now she's alone with him, and what happens next? That's the question that will haunt you. What do you think was the reason behind the previous address drop-off? Was it a way to set up an alibi? Comment below. 14935 South Richmond Avenue, this is where she ended up, this is where the horror unfolded, this is where investigators believe Felicia Johnson was murdered. His apartment. A place that should have been a sanctuary, became a tomb. The walls of this apartment, they hold secrets, secrets that are now stained with blood. What happened inside those walls? What did she experience? What were her final moments? These are the questions that haunt us. Evidence points to this apartment. Very strong support of Felicia's DNA was found, her blood, in his apartment, a chilling but undeniable truth. Think about it, the last place she was seen alive, his apartment, her blood in his apartment. It's not a coincidence, it's a connection, a deadly connection. What happened in that apartment? What did he do to her, and how could someone be so cold? But that's not all. The apartment wasn't the only place where evidence was found. His car, that's where things get even more disturbing, and what they found in that car, you won't believe it. What do you think happened inside the apartment? What kind of monster could do this? Comment below. Bear Creek Pioneers Park, a place of nature, a place of peace, but on April 16, 2022 it became a crime scene. It became the place where the search for Felicia Johnson took a terrifying turn. Her cell phone, found discarded off the roadway near Highway 6 and Clay Road, but it wasn't just discarded, it was covered in blood. Imagine that scene, no phone lying on the ground, blood, a horrifying message, screaming out from the silence. What did that blood mean? Whose blood was it? What had happened to Felicia? The initial police response, shock, urgency, the phone immediately taken as evidence. The investigation begins, but what did they know at this point? Just a phone, covered in blood, a missing woman, a growing fear. The phone, it became a crucial piece of the puzzle, a piece that would eventually lead them to Chukwuebuka Nwobodo, but at this stage, it was just a silent witness to a brutal crime. That phone wasn't just a random find, it was a message from a killer, a message that said, "I'm here and I'm not finished." But the phone, as horrifying as it was only the beginning, because what the police found next, what they discovered about Nwobodo, will send shivers down your spine. What do you think the police were thinking when they found the phone? What was their next move? Comment below. After Felicia Johnson disappeared, Chukwuebuka Nwobodo went shopping, not for groceries, not for clothes, but for tools of destruction, a saw, trash bags, cleaning supplies. These items, bought at Walmart and Home Depot, not days before, not weeks, hours after Felicia vanished. Surveillance footage doesn't lie. Nwobodo captured on camera, a bandage on his right hand, buying the items. The timeline is precise. April 16th and 17th, he was seen at Walmart with the hand bandage. The timing, it's crucial. Felicia disappears and he buys the tools. It's not a coincidence, it's a pattern, a disturbing pattern. Think about it, a saw, trash bags, cleaning supplies. What does that suggest? What kind of scenario demands those specific items? What was he planning? What was he cleaning? These weren't just random purchases, they were deliberate, they were calculated, they were the actions of a man covering his tracks or trying to. But the purchases, the surveillance, that's only one piece of the puzzle, because what he searched for online that reveals the true horror, and it's worse than you can imagine. What do you think he was planning with the saw and trash bags? What kind of scene were these items for? Comment below. His search history was a digital footprint of a killer. What he typed into that search bar reveals a mind consumed by darkness. How to be a serial killer. Not a passing curiosity, a deliberate query, a desire to learn, to understand, to emulate. What does bleach do to blood? A question asked by someone who needed to erase, to eliminate and to conceal. how to kill without getting caught. A chilling pursuit of knowledge, a calculated attempt to evade justice. Can police check phone records of a missing person? A desperate attempt to understand the investigation, to stay one step ahead. These weren't random searches, this was a pattern that painted a horrifying picture, a picture of premeditation, of planning, of a cold calculated act. Think about it, these searches weren't done before, they were done after Felicia disappeared, after he bought the tools, after he took her to his apartment. What was he thinking? What was he planning? What was he trying to hide? These searches are not just words on a screen, they're a window into a killer's mind, but the searches, as disturbing as they sound, are only one part of the story, because what they found on his phone, that's where the true horror lies, and it will make you question everything. What do you make of those searches? What does it tell you about the man? Comment below. DNA, the silent witness, the undeniable truth, Felicia Johnson's DNA. Found in Chukwuebuka Nwobodo's apartment, very strong support. The reports said her blood was inside his home, his car, another location, another source of horror, more of her DNA, linking her, irrevocably to him, the crime scene, his apartment, evidence of dismemberment, not speculation, fact, the scene, analyzed, the evidence, collected, a story told in blood, tools, weapons, a large kitchen knife. A shovel, a handgun found in his car, not for protection, but for destruction. Think about it, DNA, blood, weapons. These aren't just details, they're connections, they're proof. What did he do to her? What kind of violence occurred within those walls? The evidence speaks for itself, but the physical evidence, as damning as it is only part of the story, because what they found on his phone that reveals a level of depravity you won't believe. What do you think he used those tools for? What was the purpose of the handgun? Comment below. His phone, not just calls, not just messages, images that revealed a terrifying truth, a dismembered woman, not a picture, a reality, a scene captured, a trophy, 3 other deceased individuals not identified, not explained, just there on his phone. Think about it. These images, what do they mean? Were they his victims? Were they warnings? Were they a collection? This wasn't just a phone, this was a digital chamber of horrors, a collection of death. What kind of person keeps these images? What kind of mind collects such things? This wasn't just evidence, this was a window into a soul stained with violence. But the images, as shocking as they are only one part of the horror, because where they found her remain, that's where the story takes its most devastating turn.
Breaking now, the remains of a missing woman, Felicia Johnson, have been identified. KHOU 11 first told you about the discovery of human remains in the Sam Houston National Forest on February 7th. Johnson was murdered in Houston last year while visiting from California. Montgomery County Sheriff's deputies have confirmed dental records and DNA are a match. Police are still looking for the suspect. Johnson's father told KHOU in February that police believe the remains were of his daughter. We'll have more on this story later on KHOU 11 News and KHOU.com.
What do these images suggest to you? What kind of person would keep such things? Comment below. Sam Houston National Forest, a vast expanse, a place of hidden secrets, and it's here that the search for Felicia Johnson ended, February 7, 2023. A TxDOT worker, a routine job, turned into a horrifying discovery, human bones. Scattered and hidden, the timeline, from discovery to confirmation, weeks of agonizing wait, DNA analysis, dental records, the slow, painful process of identification, then, the news, Felicia Johnson found, not alive, in pieces.
The reason why her body has been found is so she can return to get justice for herself. And this is the first piece of the puzzle.
Her father now calling on police to hold a news conference and shine a spotlight on the case and the fugitive who has family in Nigeria.
If anybody knows anything, come forward, please, because that will make the family feel good that you guys are trying to help to get justice for Felicia.
Kevin Johnson, her father, his reaction, relief and grief, intertwined. I'm just glad that my baby is going to be home in some way, shape or form shortly. A father's words, a father's pain. Think about it, a year of searching, a year of hoping, a year that ended in the cold, hard reality of death. What did he do to her body? How could someone be so callous? So devoid of humanity? But the discovery of her remains wasn't the end of the story, because Chukwuebuka Nwobodo, the man accused of her murder, is still out there, and the hunt continues. What do you think happened in the forest? What kind of monster could do this? Comment below. He's gone, Chukwuebuka Nwobodo, a fugitive on the run. He is not in custody. Murder, tampering with evidence, these are the charges, these are the crimes he's accused of, and he must be brought to justice. Think about it, he is out there, somewhere, a man capable of such violence, a man who has shown a complete disregard for human life. We need your help. If you have any information, any details, no matter how small, please contact the authorities. Do not hesitate. This is not just about catching a criminal, this is about justice for Felicia. This is about preventing another tragedy. How long will he remain free? How many more lives are at risk? But the hunt for Nwobodo is only one part of the story, because the questions surrounding this case, the unanswered questions, they are the ones that will keep you awake at night. What do you think is the best way to find a fugitive like Nwobodo? What tips do you have? Comment below. Felicia Johnson's story is not an isolated incident, it highlights a harsh reality, the dangers faced by sex workers, vulnerable, targeted, exposed, online advertisements, private meetings. The risks are immense, the potential for exploitation, for violence, is always present. This case demands awareness. It's a violence against women. It's not just a crime, it's an epidemic, a societal failure. Resources exist for victims. For those in need, organizations dedicated to providing support, to offering a way out. Reach out, seek help. Think about it, Felicia's case should be a wake-up call, a call to action, a demand for change.
Anybody can become a victim of a villain.
That's the first point Precinct 1 Human Trafficking Victim Services Director Catherine Griffin wants to drive home. Let the murder of 24-year-old Felicia Johnson be a learning lesson, and don't think it can't happen to you.
It is so dangerous, and every media outlet should be screaming from the rooftops on how dangerous this is, and let stories like this be known.
How many more lives will be lost? How many more victims will there be? But Felicia's story is not just about her, it's about all of us, and the questions it raises, they will haunt you long after this video ends. What steps can society take to protect vulnerable individuals? What resources should be made more available? Comment below. Felicia Johnson, a young woman who came to Houston with dreams, only to meet a horrific end, her story, a stark reminder of the evil that exists. Chukwuebuka Nwobodo, a killer on the run, justice demands he be found and held accountable. To Felicia's family, our deepest condolences. Your loss is immeasurable, your fight for justice, unwavering. This case is not closed. Not until Nwobodo is captured. Not until all questions are answered. If you have any information, share it. Do not remain silent. Kindly subscribe to this channel, share this video. Let Felicia's story be heard, let her memory live on. Comment below. What are your thoughts? What questions remain? And remember, the truth is often more terrifying than fiction. Thanks for watching till the end. Until next time, stay safe.